Oh, 2 minutes late. Dang it. I always do that. And Laura reminded me and everything. I've been crazy for the last 3 days, guys, with collaging, etc. Okay, where am I at? Where's my chat? Oh, Lord. Ah, there you are. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Vicky. How are you? I haven't saw you for a long time. I still need to send you a magazine. Hi, Laura. Hi, Lisa. Carla. Deborah. You doing okay? I miss you too. I miss you too. How have you been? You're good? Oh man, I was like scrambling trying to clean up my desk real quick, and I realized there's no point. There's no point. So yeah, I've been digging glue out from under my nails, and you know, because I don't want to offend anybody. But yeah. So how's everybody doing? You've been in North Carolina for 2 months? Here, Alex. Oh, those are pinking shears, you know. Here. Don't forget to bring them back. Okay. Yes, I was having fun earlier. I'm still having fun. I'm always having fun. Oh, man. So, yeah, I have not stopped collaging paper and stuff since, yeah, since Sunday. Oh, man. Even taking a course all week. No crafting. Wow. I'm sorry, Jessica. Hi, Barbara. How you doing? You made it. I'm glad you found us. Hi, Millie. Oh, man. I posted 9 little golden book journals in my Etsy store and sold 3. Yay. Right on. Good job. You can post your Etsy shop in the chat if you want to, Lisa, or actually I don't think you can, but one of us could. It is definitely Wednesday, Scotty. How you doing? Hey, Diana. Good morning from Singapore. Right on. Right on. Hi, Brooke. Awesome. Awesome, Barbara. I'm glad you're having fun, too. So, I have had this gigantic, like, project, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing, but I can tell you that I've made a gazillion paper tags. Well, you know, paper, fabric, collaged tags and stuff like that for some journals. And yeah, so big ones, little ones, some sort of plain ones. Let's see. I've used recipe cards and some book pages, some kind of, you know, kind of stiff sort of book pages. Yeah, I actually did a whole bunch of those. These are from a field guide, you know. Just, you know, just using up stuff and lots of scraps and I know, mass quantities. So I did some, I had glued some pattern, you know, these onto just some like heavy cardstock. Actually, I think it's watercolor paper. Made some tags with that stuff. Yeah, these are just the ones that have like fabric or, you know, some kind of you know, thing on the top. Some these are the like library cards, you know, from the card catalog. Just, you know, tons of stuff. I started kind of collaging some additional stuff onto, so on Sunday I was, oh, and I got some layaway tags, so I started doing some stuff on those. I love them. They're awesome. A close-up. Okay. Here, I'll show you some that I haven't just shown you. So these are just I've just, you know, layers of book pages, and I don't trim strings. I never do. If strings bother people, they can trim them off, but I always leave them long. I find them on eBay. Okay. Kay's asking where this is actually a book page that I got from oh my gosh, I always forget people's names when I'm live streaming. Shabby Dabbydoodah. Got it from her. I always forget her first name. My favorite book, Garden Flowers in Color. I used some images out of the Child Life magazines that I picked up when I was in Arizona. It's like coffee dyed or tea dyed lace and stuff. Some just random book pages and stuff like that. I like the men's patterns, you know. So they're kind of, these are assorted by size, basically. So this is one of the like collaged book pages. Like I glued a bunch of book pages together and then did some collaging on them. Inspired by Rachel at Roxy Creations. She just, I don't know, I just kind of got into watching her at Karla's suggestion, and she just really inspired me to do that. And so some of them don't have any image or anything on them. They're just plain, but you can see the collaging in the background. So I sort of used up all of the collaged paper that I had, so I pulled everything out again today, and hang on, I'll show you what I've been doing today. So some of these are still wet. Hi, Kathleen. So I started adding a little bit of fabric and some, you can see there's some little pressed flowers. So these are just large book pages and stuff that I've glued together. I'm determined I'm going to use up a whole bunch of book paper. I'm determined. So yeah, it's been really fun, and I feel like I've been extremely productive. I started using gauze, like because I have a whole bunch of it. I got it at a garage sale, so I've been using a lot of gauze on these tags. Yeah, some of them are still wet, but that's a paper flower. So then I'll just, sorry, I was reading the chat. Yes, more mass quantities. What was I saying? I can't remember. Anyways, so what I'll do is I'll just cut these up into smaller usable pieces. So went to Michael's today. I was out of Mod Podge, and I didn't have any more varnish to make my own, and so I had one of those handy dandy coupons. So I've been saving, you know, all my scraps, like from the from those like patchwork quilt journals and stuff, you know. Hi, Grace. And I just really been having a good time doing the collaging. That's, you know, it's just fun. It's just super fun. And it's I'm not sure if I'm actually using up anything because I seem to keep pulling out more stuff, but I love this crackle paste stuff. That's from the burned book. That's from the book that I burned in the oven. So some of the pages are really dark, really like really super old. I don't know. This is from an old hymnal, a children's hymnal. This is kind of like metallic paper. I was hoping that it would perk up again. It kind of turned matte when I glued it. But I'm loving the gauze. I think it looks cool. And I have, you know, I save all of my like strings, you know, all my, when I tear fabric and stuff, I've been just saving all of that stuff. So trying to use some of that too. This is cheesecloth, but just a couple more. These are the ones that I've done today. So I think maybe about, once you get going, like, I don't know, like it goes pretty quick, and I can crank out quite a few pretty quickly. So, all right. So this was about 3 hours worth of work. So, right, like on this one, I used a bunch of that string and stuff, you know, just the threads off of torn fabric, and some cheesecloth and little pieces of fabric and lace and stuff on here. So this will look really cool when it gets cut down. So that's probably what, you know, that's what I've been doing, is I just collage a whole bunch and then let them dry, and then go back and just cut them all into just random shapes, random sizes. But then, so for the last week, do I save lint? No, I don't save lint. I have made clay out of lint before, though. Yeah, and it's actually kind of fun. You don't just oh, welcome back, Karla. I didn't know you were gone, but welcome back. I wasn't watching the chat, but yeah, so you can make clay out of dryer lint. You know, I think it was just like white glue or something. Yeah, I knew somebody who had a chow chow, and he had a sweater made out of his dog's fur. And I never asked him if he ever even wore it, but I always wondered, like, if it got wet, like, would it smell like wet dog? Pretty sure it would. So, what you're asking, what glue I was using, Vicky? For this I've just been using Mod Podge, the matte Mod Podge. I like the matte because it doesn't get like tacky. And then just you know, any kind of tacky glue to glue down like the thicker stuff, you know, like the fabric or some of the like thick, like this stuff I glued down with the tacky glue. And then everything is coated with the Mod Podge. So I have been like a crazy person putting together, well, assembling paper for signatures for a whole bunch of Reader's Digest journals. And then I went through a whole bunch of my other book covers and kind of put them together. And so I needed signatures for a lot of journals. Sorry, reading the chat. Is your mom sick, Scotty? I didn't know. Or sounds like she was sick. Yeah, I hope she's okay. Does anybody talk to Shelly? So anyway, I last night and for the last week or so, when I haven't been collaging, I've been assembling paper and trimming paper and getting signatures together. So I've got quite a collection of almost assembled journals. So I think there's 10 in here. The French dictionary, some children's books, and oh no, bleeding ulcers. Oh, that's terrible. Ugh. Yeah. Well, I'm glad she's feeling better. They have really, really good medications for that. So hopefully it, you know, keeps that down. Yeah, so some thinner ones, some thicker ones, and I had to rebuild the spines on some of these, or actually I didn't have to, but I wanted to because I wanted them wider. I wanted to make some super fat journals, so some of these have like 6, 7 signatures in them. I love this one. Puppet Plays for Children. It's so purple. You don't find too many purple vintage books. And then, wait, there's more. I'm just showing you guys what I've been up to because I haven't actually listed anything new in my shop for a long time. But, yeah, so then I have 12 Reader's Digests. Yeah, so I picked out, I had bought a box of 2 boxes of Reader's Digest at the thrift store a few weeks ago. And so I just went through and picked out the ones that, you know, I liked the covers. I think I showed these to you guys before. So this isn't necessarily what's going to wind up as the finished spine on these. I may wind up covering some of those or something, you know. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah. Don't you just love Reader's Digests? They're so yummy. I don't know. I just love them. I love the colors and just those patterns are so cool.
Yummy?
Yes, they're yummy, Sam. Anyway, so I have 12 of those and then 10 of the other ones. So that was a lot of signatures. So I thought, oh, you saw my sewing machine before. Yeah, 12 more. Oh, those covers aren't really finished. So do you guys remember the journals that, when I actually burned that one, you remember when I was working on those ones with the crackle paste and then the color bursts? Paintings. the Color Burst, you know, paint that I was using. Here, this is the French dictionary. Pretty fat. Anyway, so I've been having a hard time figuring out what to do with those as far as, you know, what I'm going to do for covers and what kind of style I'm going to make those. But I'm going to show you guys these covers because, I don't know, because I want to. I never get to show anybody else anything. Isn't this awesome? I love that it's orange, you know. So these covers, do you guys remember these when I was working on these? So what I did was I just, I'm not going to make them real thick. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to wind up making these into just like writing journals. Similar to what I've seen Nick the Booksmith putting out quite a few journals. That kind of style where, you know, it's not like a full-on like junk journal, but it's almost like a naked journal like I've done before. Where, you know, it's not like embellished and stuff. Mostly just like coffee dyed papers and, you know, plainer type of papers, maybe some envelopes and that kind of stuff. But that's kind of what I want to do with these, I decided. And maybe some tabs and stuff. But so I basically just put them together with like canvas, you know, or duck cloth. And then for each one, I just made a cover that I will attach after I stitch the book together. So, yeah. So I thought I'd just show you guys these real quick. So I'll put the signatures in, and I like to tie them on the outside. And even if I don't really want the strings showing through this. So then I'll just attach this afterwards. So there's that one. Yeah, I don't find Reader's Digest really often, but when I do, I usually find them at this one thrift store, and usually a box of them. So, and I decided to try to use some of the Indian sari silk and trims and stuff on these. So, yeah. Colorful. Kind of boho sort of style, I guess. Sort of vintage boho, I guess. Orange. The elephants. Yeah, so I think that'll look pretty. And I might add some more lace or something on this one too. And each one is going to have like a really nice fabric liner too. This is going to get trimmed off, and you know, this is pretty rough the way they look right now. But I was proud of myself for actually getting them this far, because I kind of had a block about these. So they're going to be sort of elegant and you know, luxurious. Yeah. Thanks, Patty. I went back and forth about that. This one you're talking about, I know. I didn't really have colors of the sari silk that actually matched that totally. They were like either too green or too turquoise or whatever. So I just went, okay, I'm going to go like complementary color on the spine. So that's why it wound up like that. And this one is velvet. This is black velvet. So, and I really like this one. I like how this one turned out. Isn't that pretty? Thanks, Grace. Yeah, so these are going to be fun, and they shouldn't be too crazy to finish, because you know I'm not going to do a whole lot of embellishing on the inside, but I'm just going to stitch them together really nice, and you know, I like the pom-pom. Love pom-pom trim. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I only have 3 more, guys. I think I did 9 of these all together. So, yeah, I like it. I like it with the little bit of lace and stuff, you know. So, and then I'll do some kind of really pretty, you know, closure on them. I'm thinking maybe some kind of metal, like clasp or something. I don't know. This one's really fluffy. This turned out really puffy and thick. So this is just some really pretty heavy upholstery fabric. So, and I went with this color because I felt like it picked up the gold in the cover. Okay, last one. Actually, this one goes like that, but yeah. So that's what I've been up to, and so I have a lot of work to do. And then I'm going to do some popcorn journals for next month with the larger popcorn bags. So I thought today I would... So these are all tags that don't have any, like they have some kind of image or something like that on them, but they don't have like any, you know, fabric or anything stitched on yet. So I thought maybe I could just do that real quick while I'm talking to you guys, and maybe if those dry, then I'll cut some of those down while we're hanging out. Thanks, guys. They're really fun. They're really fun. I've had I kind of had a block on those for some reason. I think because they're just so brightly colored, you know. It's awkward for me working with super bright colors, but I'm working on it. So I'm working on it. I gotta find my coffee. 1 second, guys. Mama, are you on hunger strike again? Are you not eating again? So my dog has decided that she's not eating, apparently. You know what I really want to do, though? And I just remembered this. I want to do some... I almost want to do like some clusters to use on those tags. So I kind of want to do some where they don't have an image on them or anything, but they have just a cluster type of thing on them. So maybe that's what I'll do. And that way I don't have to put too much stuff away. I think those are dry enough to trim. Excuse me. Yeah, this is the last one that I was working on, and it's pretty thick. So I love that. I have a couple of those like front page, you know, books, one from the New York Times and the other from the Los Angeles Times. So those were great. I just glued a few of those together. Yeah, I don't think I better cut this one. It's pretty wet. Is my air purifier too loud, you guys? Can you guys hear it in the background? It's really the only like fan type of thing that I have right now. It's pretty hot up here in Washington today. It's actually cooler today than it's been for the last couple days, but I'm just feeling these to see which ones are actually dry. We know you love clusters. You can't hear it at all? Okay, good. Good, good, good. Oh, you're leaving, Vicki? Okay, honey. Well, thank you for coming and hanging out for a little while. Enjoy your dinner. Enjoy your dinner. I'm glad I got to see you. Well, you know, your name and your chat. All right. That one's dry. Okay, these guys still need a little bit more drying time. So I'm actually in 3 trays now. See, that's what happens when you get addicted to clusters. You wind up with more cluster stuff. It sounds like a great way to get rid of stuff, but really what happens is you wind up collecting more stuff, and I warned you about that, so don't blame it on me. Just saying. Oh, you know what? I need to cut these first. Let's see. And I gotta get out the paper trimmer. Let's hope I don't cut myself today. Hope I don't cut myself today. I'm not measuring anything. I'm just eyeballing how I want them to. Where I like it, you know. This thing cuts through that fabric beautifully. I know, it is scary, huh? Well, I've only cut myself on it a couple times, so I think I learned my lesson. I think. It's really freaking sharp. That's all I can tell you. It's really, really, really sharp. And when where is it? This one, when I cut myself right there, all I did was just go bam, like that. Like I didn't even like pull it or anything. I just hit it like straight on. And it cut into my hand. But I love it. I got this trimmer at Office Depot. It was in the clearance, and so I think it was about maybe $60 or something. And I got it. No, I think it was more than that. I think it was close to 100 maybe. Because I got it for right around 45, I think. But I really like it. My other one that I had is a Fisker paper trimmer, and I don't know, the handle was starting to fall apart on it and stuff, so I have learned my lesson. So, Grace, tell me how was the Oregon Country Fair? I'm so jealous. I want to go to the Oregon Country Fair. Super jealous. No, I'm really glad that you got to go, but man, I have memories of the Oregon Country Fair as a kid. I tell you what, naked ladies running around and getting our faces painted and playing in the river, and they still do it in Veneta, right? Some of these don't even need anything on them. Like, they're just gonna get inked up and stitched around the edges, and I think I'll call them good. Yes, naked ladies. Yes, there's a fair / festival that happens once a year in Oregon, and they used to call it the Renaissance Fair back in the day. And was it amazing? I bet. We used to have one of our friends used to make, he was a leather worker, and he made amazing leather purses and moccasins and that kind of stuff, you know. And his name was Cedar. I don't know, do you know him? No, I'm not going to talk about boobs. But I'll tell you what, I saw a lot of boobs when I was a kid at the Oregon Country Fair. But back then, you know, it's like my mom was quite the hippie, and so I was kind of used to it. Oh my gosh. Okay. You have a naked bike ride in St. Louis? That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, top was done tastefully. Okay. Yeah, I know. I know, Brooke. I can't help it. So I think I'm going to cut these ones a little bit. No. You know what I want to do with some of these is actually, I want to make them into like corner tucks for those journals, you know, some of them. So I'm going to cut them into kind of like squares. And then I'm thinking maybe like that, you know? And then I can have some cool little like corners. And then I'll just stitch around the edges, and yeah, what a good idea, Jessica. Yeah, they do a what's it called? Bare Buns Fun Run here in Spokane. So it's like a nude like running race, you know. Ugh, super funny. My ex-boyfriend's ex-wife, apparently she would run it every year, and so I've never gone, but we actually have like a nudist beach here in Spokane too, which I stumbled upon accidentally one time, a long time ago. Lots of handmade art. Right on. Did you buy anything? I'm nosy. What'd you get? What'd you get? I know, saggy, naked old coots, huh? Man, those were good times, I tell ya. The Grateful Dead played at the Oregon Country Fair one time when I was a kid. I'm going to do these ones a little bigger. I'm obviously eyeballing these triangles. Oh, that's funny. I don't know. I kind of like this one just the way it is. I think I'm going to cut it in half, though. Maybe I'll just do it in 4 squares. Not bad for eyeballing it. Just saying. Oh, your daughter works at... Okay, nice. Does she have a booth, or does she like work for the fair? Oregon Country Fair is awesome. You didn't camp? Oh, man. You know what I really want to do? I don't know. I've had people tell me that I think I want to do it, but that I don't really want to do it. And that is the rainbow gathering. Have you ever been to a rainbow gathering? Has anybody ever been to a rainbow gathering in the chat? I don't know if some of these don't even need stitching, or if I do stitch around them, I might just do it by hand. I don't know. We'll see how my little sewing machine can handle it. I'm going to get my other Singer, which is basically brand new. I'm going to take it to the shop and get it fixed. Wait, I want to do this way. The Rainbow Gathering, Karla, it's basically hippie type gathering, that kind of thing. Where they throw colored cornstarch at you. I don't know. I've never been to a rainbow gathering. I'm not like in the know. So what happens is, whoever, you know, the organizers are of the rainbow gathering, they determine where they're going to do it, where they're going to hold the festival, and then, or the gathering, and then they determine when and where. And I can't remember what month it's in, but they don't tell you where it's going to be until 2 weeks prior to the festival starting, right? So you don't have a lot of time. So basically, you have to be ready to travel somewhere at a moment's notice if you really want to go. So that's the deal with the rainbow gathering. And then I think it lasts for a week. So you have to bring your own water and that kind of stuff. It's almost like Burning Man. But I decided I am going to do a craft fair type of thing this fall. I'm going to go to, we have a barter fair here in the fall. It's like a Native American traditional type of gathering, and so you take your wares and you camp, and you just trade with other vendors. You can sell your work. You know, lots of people just, you know, straight out sell their work, but it's a, you know, it's the idea is that you trade, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of barter for things that you need. And, you know, the Native Americans would use that as an opportunity to meet up with like other tribes and things like that to get ready for winter, like provisioning for winter, like, you know, for honey and leather and, you know, just whatever they needed for the winter time. And so now it's, um, it's kind of a cross between like a craft fair and, you know, that traditional type of feeling. So, but there's a big drum circle and all that kind of stuff, and so yeah, it's really fun. Good times and really good people, you know. And so it'll be for 3 days. So I'll probably close my shop and all that. Put it on vacation, that kind of thing. Okay, so I don't know. I just don't think any of these need any additional imagery on them. I went a little crazy on the collaging on these. So basically, I think what I'm going to do is just stitch around the edges, and then do some kind of just paper, like, you know, thing at the top or something, like a little mini cluster or something, or maybe just some postage stamps or something like that. Anyways, thinking out loud, guys. So I'm going to get my sewing machine out, because when I do that, I want to attach it with the sewing machine. And you guys told me before that it's not that loud, right? I don't think it's that loud. I'm just reading your guys' chat. Oh. So I'm liking this. I'm liking this machine. It's actually pretty decent. Like, it's pretty durable. You know, I haven't had any troubles with it. I'll push it back a little bit so I can. Okay, good. Oh, you guys are so cute. Is Regina in the house? I didn't see you to say hello. Hi, Regina. So these, I'm just going to do one of these really quick and see how I like it with just the stitching. So I'm just setting the stitch a little bit longer so I can get through it a little bit quicker. So yeah, these will be awesome in corners. And I never measure the... I've gotten pretty good at eyeballing cutting these, you know. You're tardy again, Regina. You bad girl. You bad girl. Yeah, I've gotten pretty good at eyeballing my corner snipping. So on some of these small ones, instead of like stitching all around the top of the tag, I've been going just across like straight across. I'll show you. You guys can't even see anything I'm doing. So what I was saying is, instead of stitching all around that edge, I just go straight across. You know. Yours always come out wonky. Wonky is good. Wonky is just fine. I mean, unless you don't like wonky. Just saying. So some of these little guys I'm just going to stitch all around the edge, and then, I don't know, I might add some kind of little embellishment to it too. But so some of these, what I'm going to do is I want to stitch something into it, into the seam as I go. Like some kind of little clustery thing. That's my idea anyway. I don't know how it's going to work out, but let me get my words. I do like to stitch a little word in the seam. These are some that I had pulled out before, so they're still sitting on top. Okay. Keep pulling out that same one and it doesn't have anything on it. Okay. I always pull out way more than I need when I'm doing this kind of stuff, you know? Okay. Oh, Grace, you're... Oh. Okay, what are you talking about, Rebecca? You're talking about just sewing one right after the other? Yeah, I know it would save thread, but I'm not doing that. I don't mind saving. I don't mind using a lot of thread. And that way I can kind of figure out as I go what I'm going to do with them. So I just like to stick the, I'll show you here in just a second. I was just stitching a little word in there. Yeah, no, I know. I know, Rebecca. I don't like doing that. I know what you're saying, but I'm not trying to do like a production thing. You know what I mean? Even though I am, but I'm just kind of not doing it like that, you know? Because as I go, like I don't want to, first of all, I don't want to have a whole bunch of tags just sitting back there. Yeah, I know what you're saying though. Thank you. Yeah, so I hate winding bobbins too. So, so I just bought a whole bunch of bobbins. Yeah. I know that's cheating, but I usually only use black and white, or sometimes brown, but oh. Yeah, I know. It's probably a time saver for sure, but anyways. So I think I might, instead of stitching these on, I'm just going to staple them. So, yeah. Yes, Laura, you can buy bobbins like that. Isn't that awesome? I know. I bought, let's see, I think there's a whole bunch of black ones down. The black ones are on the bottom. But, yeah, and then look at how many bobbins I got. So, I think it was, so I was just reading Rebecca's chat. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, someone else may want to do that for sure. Anyways, I am... It's kind of funny when someone... I can tell when someone is like a seamstress, or I guess the term sewer kind of bugs me. I don't even know if that's a real word, sewer. I would say seamstress, but I guess maybe that's kind of like old school or something. I don't know. But anyways, you can always tell when someone is a sewer or a seamstress when they're, you know, with their journals, because everything is very neat and kind of orderly. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just want to get some other paper stuff on some of these. Little star. There. Yeah. Stitcher? Is that a better word, Regina? I have not heard anybody say that, and I like that. So, maybe Stitcher is a better word for someone who sews, right? Someone who sews. The only problem with those bobbins is that, you know, it's a really lightweight thread that those are wound with, and it does not match the thread that I'm using on top. So, but I don't know, it doesn't seem to cause me too much trouble. I mean, I think mostly from sewing on paper, you always have issues every now and then with tension and that kind of stuff, but all in all, It's working out just fine. You sew, but you think a seamstress would be offended if you called yourself a seamstress? Well, like quilters, you know what I mean? Like people who are I've known a lot of people that are quilters, and they are kind of a. I mean, I know I shouldn't stereotype, right? But all I'm saying is that it takes a certain amount of like organization and somebody who really likes things to be meticulously perfect to produce, you know, some of those patterns and stuff um, that quilters can produce. So anyway, that's all I was trying to say. So did you guys check out Roxy Creations? Have you guys looked at her channel? Has anybody else looked at her channel or watched, you know, any of her videos? Because she is pretty freaking cool. I really like her work. Oh yeah, put a little heart on there. Perfect. So I will go back and probably round the corners on these and ink around the edges and stuff too. I'm trying to find somewhere to put them where they're out of my way. Trying to use some of these little scraps of from those little quilted journals. Some of the little tiny scraps. You know those strings that I have in that box from when I tear fabric and stuff that I have saved, you know? They're really cool for to use in a snippet roll. They work really good for that, like just to kind of fill it in, you know, to make it a little fuller. And I think it's a good way to use them instead of just throwing them in the garbage. So I just took these little scraps, kind of tore it apart, and I'm just going to stitch it right across the top of the tag. See, like that. I know. I don't think I would need a serger. I actually had one for a little while, and I don't know. Someone gave it to me, and first of all, I could never figure out how to thread the stupid thing, and at the time, they didn't have internet, so you know, it was like if you didn't know how to thread it, you had to take it somewhere and have the guy show you again how to thread it. And he showed me like 3 times. And then I finally just gave up. You know? So I try. This is the last of my little feed sack charms. And I don't know, I'm kind of hoarding them. But I do have my snippet roll. I could use some of that too. So this is just a scrap from the quilt block again, or quilt top, I should say. I'm considering putting together some, since I've been so incredibly prolific with making tags and stuff like that this last week, I'm actually considering selling some of them, like in some packs, you know. Yeah, just saying. Oh, whoops, I don't even have a tag yet. I mostly just do straight stitch when I'm doing this, rather than, you know, I think it looks really cool if, you know, you go back and forth between a zigzag and a straight stitch or whatever, or do some kind of fancy stitch and stuff. I mean, this thing does, I don't know, 60 stitches or something, but I don't know, it's just too time consuming changing the settings and stuff. Like if it was just a knob I could turn, then, you know, that would be easier, but I have to change the settings every time I change the stitch. And so yeah, so I usually wind up just doing a straight stitch mostly. And I said I was going to use a bunch of paper stuff on this, but I'm like, I don't know, I can't stop putting fabric and trims on there, on them. Oh well. I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to make clusters on camera for some reason. I don't know why. I know I've done it before, but I don't know. I haven't really made any that many recently, so maybe I'm just out of practice. It's Roxy Creations. Yeah, Roxy Creations. And she's got like 50 some videos or something. I think like 54 or something like that, just so you recognize her. She's from Australia, but she's living in Italy right now. I know, Laura. I just can't stop making these tags, dang it. It's making me crazy. Alright. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to make some clusters. That's what I'm going to do. I'll put together tags later. It's probably boring anyways, huh? Oh, and I pulled out all these like pressed flowers too. I pressed a whole bunch of flowers that I've been using in those collages too. So these are just like zinnia flower petals, and so yeah. See, I can't find the pansies. There's a whole bunch of hydrangea blossoms underneath there. Okay. Usually when I do clusters, I just pull out a bunch of fabric and plop it on the desk. I should say salad. I'm not using these. So I don't want to make big, huge ones though. So whoops. Cluster. Something like the machine scraps. I know, I have too many scraps. Okay, so I need small bases for these. Small bases. If I start out with like really small bases, then it kind of forces me to keep the cluster small, you know. Laura's like a professional at making micro clusters. Have you seen some of Laura's little tiny clusters that she's done, you guys? Oh, I fussy cut these butterflies the other day. Oh, wait, I forgot I have all these little birds. I fussy cut a whole bunch of little birds. See, all of these. A bunch of little birds. Birds and butterflies. Something of tags. Yeah, so I'm, you know, 4 or 5 layers maybe, I guess. Yeah, we'll crank out some clusters here real quick. Piece of advertising. And a bird. Wait. Need something else. There. Hi, sweeters.
Thanks, Mom.
Uh-huh. Hey, I like your shades. Huh? Oh. Is she here? Oh. Is James here? Huh? Hi, honey. Hi. What are you doing?
I'm just sitting here. This is my swimming.
You
As
just went
you can
swimming?
tell.
Will you cool me off?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. That feels so good.
What are you making?
What am I making? This is my granddaughter, James, you guys. Say hi. You can wave.
Hi.
We're making little clusters. See, just little collections of things. Yeah. Pretty.
Hello.
So yeah, we call them clusters. And then making these little tags. Hello. That's Alex, you guys.
Hello, you
You
guys.
weirdo.
Hello.
She came over to come swimming. Her dad brought her swimming. He's been bringing her swimming a lot, so we get to see her all the time. Not in the wintertime, though, huh?
No, because we're shut-ins.
Yeah, in the winter you are. We're going on a fun camping trip. I hope you guys can come in August.
Yeah, I thought you said like July 20th, like on Friday, because we're leaving on Friday.
You sound just like your mom.
I know.
You totally do. That's so funny.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep saying hi.
You unplugged my...
Hello.
He unplugged all my lights.
Oh yeah.
You run to the mailbox when it comes for trash.
Wait, can they
Big
see my
people in
face?
town. Leave
Camera's
them
right here.
on your car while you shop at Walmart.
Turn it sideways. Sideways.
Do I run to the mailbox when it comes for trash mail? No, I don't, because I don't
Bye,
usually
guys.
use trash mail.
Bye, guys.
I love you guys. Bye.
Love you too, Aunt.
Good girl. I know you will. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. We'll do a craft video one of these days.
Okay.
Okay? I promise.
That would be fun.
That would be fun with Calvin too.
Yes.
Yes. Maybe you guys could do like a coloring video or something. You know, just your hands in the video. Yeah. Okay, bye, honey.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Love you.
No, I know. No, I used to save all that kind of stuff though, and I can't do it anymore. Like I can't save everything that, you know, comes through my fingertips. Been there, done that, and I can't do that anymore. Yeah, I don't use a lot of junk mail. I used to do a lot with junk mail, and I've made quite a few journals out of junk mail, but what I'm doing now is more, I don't know, it's just different. You know, it's for, you know, they're not journals for me. Like I'm not making stuff for myself anymore. Well, I mean, I don't journal, so you know, when I make junk journals, I just like making them. Honestly, like I don't journal, so you know, for me to make a bunch of journals, for me, is kind of pointless. They'll just sit there. So, oh, your baby's turning 34. Right on. Wow, Scotty. Well, my youngest is 29, which was kind of a shocker to me. I didn't realize he was that old. I keep thinking he's 28. You know? So yeah, we're going next month up to this place called Bonaparte Lake. It's actually really close to where that barter fair is that I'm going to go to. And this is some avocado dyed, like doily. Anyways, it's just a really fun little place. They've got these like you know, rustic type of cabins and stuff. And so I'm pretty excited about it. It's one of my favorite places, even though I did go there with my ex-boyfriend. I still like it. I have too many ex-boyfriends. Egads, what? What's the matter, Elizabeth? Yes, it is definitely special junk. That's what it is. It's yeah, you know what it is? It's like junk mail, I guess. Like, it's kind of like junk mail stuff that is just someone else's junk from a different era, a different time, you know. Really. That's the kind of stuff that I like to use. So I'm loving these birds. Like, I'm just gonna fussy cut birds for the rest of my life. You can't remember. Elizabeth, you're so funny. Oh my gosh, you crack me up. Okay, so everybody go as soon as, you know, you get a chance. Not right this second, but definitely go subscribe to Roxy Creations and watch her videos, you guys. She's super fun, and she's very inspiring, and I mean, in her own way. She just has her own little style of doing stuff, you know, and so I just want to try to support her a little bit, you know, because she's really funny, and I love her little girl. She does these videos with her daughter, and her daughter is super funny. She's super smart. Like, you can tell that she's just a really, really smart girl, and she kind of surprises her mom sometimes with, you know, how bright she is. So, can you guys see what I'm doing? Two heart calves last week. Holy moly. Egads, as Elizabeth would say. Okay, good, Regina. Isn't she funny, Barbara? I know. I love her. Yeah, Karla told me about her a long time ago. And, you know, she's mostly done, I've said this already, but she's mostly done sewing. You know, she's done a lot of sewing, and a lot of the stuff that she has for sale in her Etsy shop is stuff that she's sewn, and she's just kind of getting into junk journaling, and so I just want to support her. Plus, I'm getting some fabric from her, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm not putting much in the way of postage in these little clusters, I noticed, but that's okay. Some of these old matchbooks. Whoever collected these matchbook covers would probably just die if they saw what I just did to it. But hey, they're probably already dead, so what can I say? That was mean. That was mean, huh? This is like fabric from when you take a book apart, you know? This is the fabric that's on the spine. See, it still has like the paper glued to it. I don't know. I just like to use them. I like the fabric part, the canvas part. So I'm going to try to get the I'm going to try to get the book pages sent out. I'll try to get them sent out by like Monday or Tuesday, okay? And I can send out, and I can do like 4 more. So if 4 more people want to go ahead and send me an email with your address, I will send you some pages from the Popular Mechanics magazines. And I'll try to do some advertising and some regular, you know, pages and stuff too, but vintage since I was a kid. Yeah, I like old stuff too. I don't know. I'm particularly attracted to stuff from like the 30s and 40s. That's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of my era, you know. So yeah. Just in case anybody's wondering. That's kind of my favorite as far as ephemera and stuff, you know. I really like that era. So see, I don't just slap my clusters together. I don't know. I guess sometimes I mean, I try not to think about it too much, but you know, I mean, you have to think about it a little bit, right? I mean, you want it to be presentable. See, like figuring out, I want to use this little piece of fabric, but it was too thick if I had it turned that way. So, you know, you just got to work it out. And then find a nice little spot where you can hold it together with a staple and stick a little word in there and staple it. So how many did I make so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11. You made piles and then you put them together quick? Yeah, I know. And everybody has their way of doing their clusters, and I just think it's so cool. It's just such a good way to use up stuff. Although, like I said, you know, which I know you probably already know this, but you wind up with a lot more stuff too. Because then you're constantly like, oh, I can use that in clusters, you know. I could save that for clusters. I want a postage stamp in this one. Or maybe a little piece of advertising. Yeah. And I always forget about this section. This is kind of like my new tray right here, you know. And you guys can't really see it very well. But I have like ration stamps in there and stuff. All kinds of goodies in there. Mini clusters. Yeah, I'm getting an itching to go to an estate sale. I really need to hit some estate sales. I haven't been to even one this year. Not even one. Okay, what else is in there? See, I'm not as organized as y'all think I am. Just saying. Well, I did have all this stuff all sorted out, but gotten all mixed up. This is where just the little teeny tiny stuff is. Like that butterfly. And those ration stamps. And that one says coffee, so it's definitely got to get used. And see, I don't care if you can see the whole word. I just want to, you know, I know that it says coffee, and, you know, if you peek, you can see. So, whoops. Turn that a little. I just try to make sure that, you know, you can see each layer. That's all. That's really my only thing about the clusters is, you know, just try to make sure you can at least see part of it, you know, part of every layer. There, now stay up there. Okay. Wait, no, bird. Bird, bird. There. Oh, it's a little bit bigger, but... Yeah. Feather. Oh, but yeah, feathers and clusters are a good idea. I like that idea. Well, you know, Bonnie, that inker, it's just, I don't know. Should I ask my son to make some so I can sell them? You guys, it's really just a makeup, you know, thing. Yeah, I know, Rebecca. Those are so cool. The green stamps, and then the gold bond stamps. That's what a lot of these are. Like these are and then of course the ration stamps. These are gold bond stamps. Those ones. I have a whole bunch of those. I bought them at a thrift store. At my favorite thrift store months and months ago. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to use this little tiny bird, and then I'm going to put this little thing on there. It says she flies. Here. So I'm probably not going to go back and like embellish those clusters at all. I think they're going to be just fine the way they are, because I don't really want them to be any thicker, because I do want to use them on tags inside of my journals, you know. So I don't really want them that thick. Sometimes if they wind up being too thick, I'll use them on the front of a journal, you know. I love doing that. A little piece of book paper. A stamp. Let's see. Some advertising I printed on vellum. And then I'll just do this little circle that's cut out of wallpaper. There. Done. Laura, that's so funny. Okay, well, I'll have him make some. I'll demand it, Sue. You know, he used to work on his lathe all the time. I don't know what happened, but he just, I don't know, he just started slacking. I'm going to tell him, you need to make a bunch of those. Yeah, S&H green stamps. Let me see if I have any. Trying to see if I had any S&H green stamps left. I don't know. I know I do somewhere. I don't know where I put them. But see, look at all the gold bond stamps that I got from the thrift store. Tons of them. I like the 10-cent ones, or the 10s, you know. But most of these are full. Yeah. And when I bought these, I got a full book of green stamps too. But I know I have them somewhere. Who knows? Who knows? Do you guys ever feel weird when you go to estate sales? Like, because I don't know about you in where you live, but where I live, a lot of the estate sales are run by, you know, like an independent, like, company that does estate sales. You know what I mean? Like, it's not done by the family. And I didn't really get that for a long time when I was younger. Because I've always loved going to estate sales. But I always feel awkward. Like, I always feel like I'm, you know, going and, like, coveting some dead person's stuff and, like, hurting the people's feelings and stuff, you know. But then, after I learned that a lot of the time, it's not even the family. It's just, like, some other company. Then I stopped feeling awkward. But, and you can tell if it's the family, you know. But, and anymore, I'll just ask. But anyways. Hi, Valerie. And Myrna. But yeah, I haven't been to any estate sale. Well, no, I did go to one estate sale early in the spring. So I got a whole bunch of, you know, sewing patterns at that estate sale. Forgot about that one. Okay. My granddaughter is so stinking cute. Oh my god, she's so adorable. She's actually a step granddaughter, okay, but I don't really like to say that, you know. But her mom and my son have been together for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now. And thanks, Valerie. And just this summer, she started calling me Nana. So it was so cute. Like one day, she was in my studio and she was kind of dinking around with stuff at my desk, you know, and I just smiled at her. I was like in the bathroom or something, and I came in, and she was, you know, just touching stuff on my desk and stuff, and she kind of looked like a little startled when I came in, like I was gonna be upset that she was, you know, touching my things or whatever. And but I wasn't, not even a little bit. And it was just really cute. She just looked up at me with these really pretty blue eyes, and she goes, "I love you, Nana." And I almost cried. It was so cute. Oh, I like that purple stamp, but then I don't. Anyway, she's a sweetie. So I gave her a tassel, I don't know, a couple months ago. And I know, Elizabeth, she's so sweet. She's the only, like, granddaughter I have. You know, she's the only granddaughter I have. I have 3 grandsons, you know. But, and she used to just be super, super shy. I mean, she was just like the super shyest little girl you ever met, you know. And, I mean, you'd say something to her and she'd just bury her face in her mom, you know. She wouldn't even look at you. But now she's just, you know, really come out of her shell. She's gotten older, too, which, you know, is making a big difference. But going to the States, when I lived in Washington, we bought an old buffet and tied it to the top of our Jeep, coming back into the state. Did you buy anything? Oh my God. Really? No, we didn't buy anything. Just this buffet. Oh my God, that's so funny. You should have just said no. We didn't buy anything. That's funny. Ugh. I have no fingernails left for anything. Oh, that's a double bird. Let me see if I have any more. So I don't remember who was asking me about the field guides. But yeah, I just search up vintage field guide. I don't I haven't, you know, specified what kind of field guide I'm looking for. I try to not be too specific. Oh, it's in Canada. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was thinking, Scotty, that you must have been in Canada. But you lived in Washington, right? I try not to be too terribly specific when I do a search on eBay. You know, because you want to get the most results, right? Especially for something like that, you know, because you might want a bird field guide or, like, you know, mushrooms or trees or flowers or whatever. So really, you know, I just search vintage field guide and usually get quite a few results. So yeah, so I don't know why anybody wouldn't, but yeah, so that's what I do. Maybe I bought them all. I don't know. It's possible. I do have a few. Lately, I've been buying children's like dictionaries and encyclopedias and that kind of stuff on eBay. So if anybody's looking for field guides, go look now, because I'm not looking at those. I'm just saying. Oh, I don't need any more field guides right now. This needs some fabric on it. I'm feeling stuffy. Like my sinuses, I'm feeling kind of stuffed up. Oh, what the heck. I'm going to staple that flower on top of that bird. What? Oh. Yeah, so all of these little clusters are going to be great on tags. So I'll just, you know, continue stitching around the edges and decide, you know, if I want to make it into like a shipping tag shape or just, you know, leave it this way. And then some of these that I've already done, I'm just gonna attach, and I might glue them on there just because. Yeah, so because I don't want them to be too thick, you know what I mean? Like I want to be able to put more in the journal and not just have it filled up with just bulky flowers and lace, you know. I do like to make sure that I can get as much as I can into my journals, because they do wind up being pretty fat and chunky anyways. And from the looks of those ones that I showed you guys earlier, they're going to wind up being pretty fluffy. So, and then for these little like corners, these are still a little bit wet. You know, a lot of them I might just, you know, glue a bird on there or do some layering or something, you know. I don't know. You know what we're doing. You know what I'm doing. Or put a little cluster on there. You know what I mean? And so like this one, I kind of feel like it's getting lost on there. But if I took just a little bit of ink and kind of inked up a little bit of it, suddenly it doesn't get lost. So, yes, put a bird on it. Exactly. So, yeah, see, I've got all of these birds to fussy cut. Yeah, field guides. And then this one is a little bit, this one's different. This one doesn't have any of those like multiple birds on one pages. They're all just singular. So I love this. I love this old field guide. This is from sometime in the 40s. And I just like to stitch around the page itself and just, you know, stick it in the book just like that. I just think they're so pretty. And that way you don't have to waste, you know, like on these. This is a trees one. Oops, I ripped it. But, you know, I feel like I don't want to waste the image that's on the back, you know. So I think that's a really good way to fix that. Let me see if I can figure out which one that was. Yeah, so those two that I just showed you, the tree one, with it just like has all of this stuff in it. It was all in color. This is the cover of the book. It's a golden nature guide. So, you know, if you want to search on eBay for that title, you could find this book probably. But you know, check, there's other websites too, like for used books that are just great, like Thrift Books. Thrift Books is awesome. And then the bird one is the same. It's a golden nature guide. Thrift Books ships from London, I think. But they ship for free. Everything. Like everything they ship free. So check out Thrift Books too. They're a really good source for used books and vintage books. So it's just thriftbooks.com. So like I think that's where, no, that's not where I got that. I can't remember. There's something I got at from Thrift Books recently. And Thrift Books also sells on eBay. But if you go directly to their website, you know, they have more stock, is what I'm trying to say. Anyways. Well, listen, guys, I think I'm going to sign off. I know that wasn't very long, but, so I was kind of wondering, has anybody talked to Shelly? I mean, I know she's posted and stuff in the group, but I'm just wondering if anybody has actually talked to her. Shelly from Crafting Mamas, you know. Remember Shelly? I'm just wondering how she's doing. Oh, are you leaving, Scotty? I didn't know you were leaving. Okay, love you. Have a good night. What are you eating? Oh. All right, well, I don't know. Maybe I lost you guys. Okay, like it is, Cassie. Seriously, don't be spilling me. Oh, that's funny. Okay, Vicky. You know what? I was at Joann's today, and something told me something about the magazines, and I totally forgot. So, but I promise that I will get it. Oh, you have your champagne? Good for you, Laura. I know it's terrible, Vicky. I apologize, but you know that magazine's always going to be available. So, and I will get it for you. I promise. No, it's okay. I just thought, because nobody was saying anything, so I thought maybe my connection had dropped out. I've been having issues with my internet today, so, and yesterday. I was trying to print my orders and stuff, and I couldn't even do it. Just network issues, so, anyway. But I'm going to try to get some of these journals done, you guys. I bet you I'll have a few of them done by Sunday. I'm not going to sleep until Monday. Anyway. Oh, Google was having issues? Okay. Hi, Josie. Absolutely, Elizabeth. Absolutely. Thanks for hanging out with me. Absolutely. Day drinking, slowing you down. Yep, it'll do it every time, Brooke. Okay, Laura. I know you will. You're such a good friend. I really appreciate you. You know that. I do. And I have some faux flow journals that I need to get finished and that kind of stuff. Oh, I hate day drinking. It's the worst. It's absolutely the worst. I mean, if I'm going to day drink, I'm going to just keep drinking. So, my problem is that I'm a lightweight. So I just get drunk and then I can't drink anymore. And then I feel like crap for the rest of the day. Anyways. Alright, you guys. I love you so much. And thank you very much for coming in and hanging out with me. I'm signing off. And I will see you on Sunday. And we'll try to do something a little more exciting, okay? Alright. You guys, I'll stay out of trouble, okay? Promise. Thanks, Elizabeth. Hugs back at you. Good night, you guys.